St. Martin, the friendly island awash with natural beauty. On May 10, 2013, the island became part of an amazing experience as some of the leaders in civil society gathered at the Sonesta Great Bay Resort for the Chick-fil-A LEADERCAST. The Chick-fil-A LEADERCAST is a one-day leader development event broadcast live from Atlanta, Georgia to hundreds of sites throughout the world, including St. Martin, thanks to the foresight of the Victorious Living Foundation. The theme for this year's event is Simply Lead. The attendees at Friday's event were drawn from a wide cross-section of society, including business, the clergy, education, healthcare, and government, among other sectors. Participants followed the presentations of world-renowned speakers on leadership streamed live and projected on a large screen in one of the conference rooms at Sonesta Great Bay Resort. Among the star-studded LEADERCAST were Andy Stanley, best-selling author and communicator, Jack Welch, former chairman and CEO of General Electric, Mike Krzyzewski, head men's basketball coach of Duke University and Team USA, John Maxwell, best-selling author and a leadership consultant, Roque Denver, Navy SEAL and star of the 2012 movie Act of Valor, Sanya Richards-Ross, 2012 London Olympic gold medalist in track and field, David Allen, best-selling author of Getting Things Done and productivity expert, and Dr. Condoleezza Rice, Secretary of State between 2005 and 2009 via exclusive Simply Lead video interview. In his presentation, Andy Stanley shared and elaborated on three pivotal questions that each leader should ask in order to be effective. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? And how do I fit in? His presentation was the first of the LEADERCAST and was well received by the gathering. David Allen highlighted the importance of maintaining calm in the midst of chaos as a key trait to leadership. Mike Krzyzewski used his experiences as head coach of Team USA dealing with superstar basketball players as lessons that can be applied in leadership in any organization. Sanya Richards-Ross was interviewed by veteran sports anchor Linda Cohn of ESPN. She spoke mainly on how to be successful in the midst of distractions, the challenges she faced as a professional athlete on the road to success, the support of her family, and the need to have a vision board, setting goals and working assiduously in achieving them. Most of the participants seemed impressed with the presentation of John Maxwell, who spoke on the topic of simplicity in leadership. The LEADERCAST was not just about the overseas speakers. Representatives of St. Martin Youth Parliament were given the opportunity to present their 30-year vision for St. Martin. The group highlighted some of the issues as they see it that are paramount to St. Martin.
Now we will have our impression on political leaders. First, they have poor city planning, bribery, empty speeches in Parliament, and false advertisement.
Okay, now we have the impression on business leaders that we have came up with certain things, issues, and these are corporate social responsibilities, which is very important for the corporate sector. Support for local entrepreneurs. We need to support our local entrepreneurs. Leadership of employees. Here today we learn that employees have to also take leadership roles within themselves. Overqualified versus inexperienced. These are the issues that currently we are seeing in St. Martin.
Our impression on social leaders: hypocrisy, level of respect, physical aspects of the authorities, NGOs, which mean non-government organizations.
How do we see St. Martin now? political instability, a booming economy, natural beauty that is under threat, meaning the environment, and talented youth potential to greatness. Now, my colleagues and I will briefly explain to you how we, as young people of St. Martin, would like to see St. Martin in 5 to 30 years. Now we would have 5 years.
St. Martin in 5 years. We're able to come up with some ideas, and the first thing that we proposed was another Dutch high school in 5 years that we would like to see. Secondly, improve sport facilities. As we see our primary sport facility, the Royal Village, is damaged, I would say. Improve road network. Here, St. Martin traffic is an issue. And more recreational facilities. And for the financing of the studies to become a true scholarship program for the students that need to go and study abroad. Thank you very much.
Now, this is how we see St. Martin in the next 10 years. A multi-pillar economy to balance with tourism, improve educational opportunities for special education, a more advanced performing arts schools, and more local businesses.
How we see St. Martin in the next 20 years. Cost of living will be at a low rate whereby people will be able to live comfortably. Entrepreneurship schools, and for the environment, the landfill will need to go, and more renewable energy to power our electricity.
Now, in 30 years, which might seem very far from now, but we are still thinking about it, we came up with a few things. Now, one of us right here might be even the next Prime Minister of St. Martin. The future presidents of Parliament. And not forgetting the governor. We will become and be a global leader, small in size, but great in impact. The next Nobel Peace Prize is being won in politics. The next Miss Universe from St. Martin. Grammys being won from the great talents of St. Martin. Leaders in education. We would even be able to reach in the top 20 world's greatest economies.
Wow.
Then, after all, we can surely say that St. Martin is one of the greatest places in the world, and we see people like myself being the next Prime Minister, but can put smiles on people's faces and make St. Martin even more proud. And also remembering to leave a legacy for generations to come. Now, the most important part of our presentation is the solutions to everything that we have proposed. First, the part that is very important is how we're going to fix these problems that we are currently facing. One, improve school planning, better fiscal policy, set forth anti-corruption policies, improve training for law enforcement authorities, including customer service and physical fitness. And last but not least, the curriculum being more relevant to the society and the economy.
I would like to know if your comments are, your observations and comments are based on, how do you say, non-partisan view.
When we came up with all of these ideas, we weren't really thinking of specific parties. We were just saying in general of how we would like to see St. Martin run in 5 to 30 years.
Our environment, everything that it means so much to us, we are seeing it getting destroyed just by people who are behind their own profits. Leave us after with what? We're seeing what is happening around us, and we're dealing with our health issue concerning our environment. And if we don't have a clean environment, then our young politicians wouldn't be able to serve any purpose. So we need to begin, not when they get in power the next 30 years, but immediately we need to start looking at our.
What is your opinion on the language of instruction in the school system? Seeing that the country is Dutch, but the language of instruction is in English. And two, if it is that it should be the Dutch language, if your opinion is that it should be the Dutch language, have you raised that question to the parliamentarians, and how is that going? Because I think that if you're in government and parliament and you have to travel to Holland and have discussions and meetings, how do you effectively communicate?
English School Learning Unlimited is very different, but on the other side, in order for me to pursue my dreams, I have a lot of work to do in taking Dutch as I would say as an extra curriculum in order for these things to be done. But on St. Martin, we don't really have a lot of Dutch school systems in place, so that's one of the things that we were thinking on doing as one of our projects, to present to Parliament as one of the projects that we would like to see as Dutch being an official language in more schools.
But it was. They changed it.
I'm always saying this. As a little child, I grew up in a Dutch school. I went to Hillside and I went to St. College. And I don't see the fact why we should have one Dutch high school in the island and this is a Dutch side. Because on the French side, and not only schools, I mean implementing, like on the French side you go and people speak in French. I don't even know how to speak French. I went one time and asked a lady for a place and she's like, je ne comprends pas. And I'm like, okay. But I think that not only in the schools, like everybody should learn the language and speak it, and to be able to communicate, because we are Dutch.
Okama Brooke from the Department of General Affairs gave a brief presentation of the National Plan for St. Martin.
I came to the Antilles 3 years ago, and I've been now working with the government of St. Martin since September last year. One of the reasons I came here is to be part of the ongoing process to develop a national plan for St. Martin. I was very happy to hear the youth parliamentarians talking about their vision for the country, talking about short, medium-term, long-term vision, and what role they can have in that. So, for me, it's about participating. It's about collective thinking, and it's about collectively working together, engaging appropriately to bring to life what we have planned. And in leadership, we recognize that each person counts, and individually we can make a difference. As organizations, as individuals within those organizations, as a community, we playing our individual leadership role can bring St. Martin to the glory that it used to be, to the glory that we envision for it in the future. We all have a stake in it. So, coming back here, and the question would be, why am I here talking to you about this? It's actually because although we have a chaotic situation right now, at the end of the road, we should have clarity. And the importance of that clarity is for us right now to engage in planning what those priorities should be. So, although it looks very chaotic in government, the Prime Minister actually made a pledge to develop an integrated plan that takes into consideration the aspirations of young people, the aspirations of religious groups, the aspirations of NGOs and civil society organizations, the aspirations of businesses, of employees, of the different government departments. So an exercise that we have embarked upon in the last 2 months is actually developing a framework, a methodology that we can use to capture your input, your feedback of what the priorities should be that should go into a national vision. A national vision that would translate into a plan, a long-term plan. The young people want to see a 30-year plan. It is possible, but it has to take into consideration of the different sections of society.
The participants were also part of the action.
So this person is dedicated, friendly, and outgoing, organized in order, structure, say planet? Oh, planner, sorry. Spot on.
Wow. Wow, congratulations. Very well.
Hold on.
Here's your present. You're welcome.
The president is going to first to all the table.
LEADERCAST participants left motivated and inspired to simply lead.
For me, it was wonderful. I really believe it's something necessary for us here as business owners, entrepreneurs, young leaders aspiring to be, and for Victorious Living Foundation to come across such great authors, writers, leaders, and their own rights. To bring it to us here in St. Martin is a dynamic thing, which should and must change the view of how leadership is being done, entrepreneurship is being taken under control, and the greatest thing of it was the fact that we are gentlemen and ladies serving ladies and gentlemen. The other aspect was in the leadership, how it is done. If you are a leader, it's not for self-fulfillment, but for the improvement of all around you's life, so that our nation will have a better view and a better sentiment in regards of what's happening in today's thing. The other thing that I love about it is that it tells us really simplicity is the key point in anything we are doing. And that's what makes a difference in today's world. So that's what I'm taking away with me. Lead in simplicity and see each one on an equal foot, an opportunity to be given and to be had and empower others as well. So Victoria's Secret is on a great path for St. Martin, and for us here today, I believe we all was very happy and content with it. I'm walking away with joy.
I think it was a very unique opportunity to come together, to listen to some world-renowned leaders and speakers, and I think that the organization and St. Martin has been able to put it together. It was uniquely put together, and I've learned a lot in terms of hearing my favorite speakers like John Maxwell and Anthony Stanley, and they inspired me, and I'm leaving away with a new motivation in the area of leadership.
I also enjoyed the last speaker, and I think that his talk alone was worth more than for me personally, was worth much more than the cost of the conference.
Experience was a wake-up call in a sense, because I'm a member of the Youth Parliament. The whole experience here today that was brought to me as a youth, it is imperative that we have now to step up and take leadership roles wherever we can have it, in the sense of in the community.
Well, to be very honest, it was tremendous. You know, when I heard about Dr. Ernest Francis bringing this Chick-fil-A Leadercast to St. Martin, you know, I thought, you know, this is something that will be absolutely a wonderful thing to bring as a contribution to St. Martin and the wider Caribbean. And I must say that the Victorious Living Foundation did a splendid job. For those of you out there who have missed it this year, 2013, it's really something you want to get plugged into. I would say, you know, check out the Victorious Living Foundation, you know, their website here in St. Martin, and get yourself registered on time. You know, fly over from St. Kitts, any of the other islands, come over to St. Martin next year, May 9th, 2014. It should be really fantastic, because this year it was really great, and I don't have any regrets that I attended today, even though I was part of the Victorious Living Foundation staff.
John Maxwell, he was good. I like the simplicity to get to it directly and everything. He was good.
Visionary of the Victorious Living Foundation, Dr. Nicole Ernest Francis, was pleased with the outcome of the Chick-fil-A Leadercast, despite the challenges endured in the planning phase.
It was beyond what I expected, and I was very pleased to see the number of people who came out. And in addition to that, the response was phenomenal. I have been promoting it quite a bit for the past 2.5 months and even beyond that. And I myself didn't really know what I was going to expect. I was just going by pure faith and trust that it was the right thing to do at the right time. And this was even before knowing the political climate that we would be in at this moment. And what I always say is that God is sovereign. He knows everything. We can make our plans, but He will be the one to have the final say. And as the day to the Chick-fil-A Leadercast, you know, came closer, and all these things that unfurled on one single day, when a number of political things happen in Curacao and St. Martin and around the world, and you're wondering to yourself, are these signs of times to come, even worse than we have seen before? And the question is, what will we do? How will we respond? And it's time to simply lead, and I feel satisfied, I feel encouraged, I actually feel elated, because I sat back at many times during the session and observed the faces of the people who come from a wide cross-section of the community, and from every sphere that you could think of. And I looked at their faces and I saw the transformation that was taking place. I saw what was happening internally, and all the hassle and all the struggle that I had to go through in order to make it happen was fulfilling for me at that juncture as I watched it. And at the end of it, and so many people said yes, they want to continue, it was very encouraging. So I'm happy. Are there things that we would like to see improve? Of course, always. But all in all, I'm very pleased. Well, I think the structures of leadership, the systems of leadership that persons have been engaging in for the past years have proven that they are not worthy systems. And servant leadership, the ability to recognize that it's not about you, but it's about empowering the people around you, and each of you collectively and collaboratively working together with simplicity, simply in a way that you want to achieve your objectives. That's what it's all about. Not complicating things, not the bureaucracy that is government, the definition of government, as you would say, but us fully grasping what is our vision, what is our purpose, why are we doing what we're doing, and where do we fit into all of it, was a very vital part of this whole training for today on May 10th. Well, I know for sure that I will be hosting it again, and this time expanding it and extending it to the Caribbean islands, because there's very few islands in the Caribbean that are currently hosting it. And this is the first time actually that St. Martin is participating in this. And I am just very grateful. I am saying this because you would not even imagine half of it. Very grateful that it has come off, and it not just when it came off, but it came off with excellence. And I am sending out a request and invitation to the other islands in the Caribbean and to those who are overseas and internationally, because St. Martin has sea, fun and sun. And in addition to that, you're learning. Why not just combine the whole thing together? That we will all continue to grow together. And the LEADERCAST is just one of many conferences that Victorious Living will be hosting over the next several years, because we are going to expand into that arena of enlightening, empowering, and enriching people's lives with transformation and the renewing of their minds.
Representatives of the contributors to the event were also present with display tables, namely the St. Martin Chamber of Commerce, a platinum contributor, and Dartum NV, a silver contributor. Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, Claret Connor.
It's a pleasure for us to actually be involved in an initiative such as this, because we feel that the Chamber of Commerce, as an institution that register businesses on St. Martin, we have always been looking for ways and avenues to help stimulate not only leadership but entrepreneurship. And we found that that a session such as this is very much in line with the areas in helping develop and foster that relationship with the chamber and private sector, and the extension the business sector. Leadership is paramount to anything that you do, and understanding the role of a leader helps to develop and sustain movement and progress. So as it pertains to the importance of leadership, I feel that once people understand what it takes to be a leader, they will understand simultaneously what is required of them personally in order for them to achieve that leadership status quality. Just looking at the audience in there, I see that there are a lot of persons who work for various institutions on the island, and I believe that exposing any individual to such information coming from the list of presenters that were here today, and I must commend Victorious Living for leading in this cause, because it gives the participants the opportunity to gain exposure, some knowledge, some insight, and in-depth on the vast experiences that the presenters brought. Just summarizing, I think that those individuals now have the opportunity to take what they've learned today back to their jobs in their areas and lead with that, to some degree.
Dartum NV operates several companies and provides a myriad of services, including customer service. Representatives of the company found the LEADERCAST very useful, as they see leadership as a vital tool in customer service.
It's a very educational event. It caters to informing and how should I say, putting the leadership in a better perspective. It's very educational. I sat in for the entire day, and I learned a lot. And it's a pity that a lot more leaders in this society didn't show up, because I think it's very important. What the speakers had to say was very important for them to understand. My highlight was Andy Stanley, Mr. Henry Cloud. They were very interesting. And also Mike Krzyzewski, he was also very inspiring. All of them are teaching a true leadership, a true leader. And I took notes of a lot of what they had to say, because when I go back to my company where I work, I'm going to enlighten my bosses about it, so that because our company also caters to customer service and training and educating companies, and this is, I think, this can be put in our curriculum about good leadership. What is a good leader in your company? Some people tend to, because they're a leader, they cannot communicate with those that are lower in ranks under you, and it's showing that appreciate your workers, because without them your company will not be able to function the way it's supposed to function. Our company is Datum Envy, and falling under that we have Leonard Enterprise, which deals with waste management, septic services, roadside cleaning, residential and also commercial. Then we have ISS, which PEX and Superhost fall under that. PEX is a training company that we go out, that falls under St. Martin Superhost, where we go to the different companies and we do customer service training. We also have a mascot, Mr. Friendly, that goes around and teaches the kids about safety and security in their neighborhood. And we also have an employment agency. We cater to the young people who are looking for jobs. They can come and sign up, fill in an application form, and we'll try to put them wherever we can.
The Victorious Living Foundation is grateful to all of its contributors to the event, especially the main contributor, the Government of St. Martin, under the auspices of the Ministry of Tourism and Economic Affairs. Thanks are also extended to UTS for providing the streaming, WTN, Cable TV, Sinester Great Bay, PJD2, Share Restaurant, Little Man Productions, and all others who supported in one way or the other. Persons interested in learning more of the Victorious Living Foundation may call 1-721-524-8731 or visit www.victoriouslivingssxm.org. And mark the day for next year's LEADERCAST, May 9th, 2014. The Victorious Living Foundation, established since 2002 by Dr. Erna Mae Francis. The Victorious Living Foundation one-page plan for fiscal year 2013-2014. Vision: to be the leading total wellness, family and youth-oriented community service provider in the world, while empowering our local, Caribbean and global communities to maximize their God-given potential. Mission: to enlighten and reconcile persons to our Creator and each other and empower them to live victoriously. Objectives: VLF is financially sustainable, takes care of all its expenses with a monthly surplus, reduce truancy, juvenile delinquency and crime in our society, improve the academic and holistic performance of our youth, cultivate strong spiritual, moral and social values in our youth, strengthen family relations, communication skills, interpersonal skills, restore broken marriages and families. Action plans: strengthen and further develop and expand our mentorship program for youth 5 to 19 years. Strengthen and further develop and expand our counseling program for families and couples. Strengthen and further develop and expand our coaching program for individuals and groups. Visit our website or call our office. Join us in making a difference in our community.